Hey guys, here's something that I made last weekend. I wanted to make some kind of support that I could use for taking fancy product shots, like this one of my phone. I needed something that was heavy enough for me to rest a subject against, but at the same time I didn't want this support to be visible. I needed something that was heavy but also relatively small. Wood by itself wasn't heavy enough, so I made it more than 2 times heavier using metal nuts. Let me show you how I did that. First, I took a scrap piece of plywood that was left from my DIY Christmas tree project. This particular piece is 1 cm thick. Then I took a pencil and marked the cuts that I wanted to make. The pieces were about 10 by 5 cm in size. I took out my jigsaw and cut 12 pieces in total that were going to make 4 supports. Each of them was going to be made out of 3 pieces glued together. I will only show you the process for one of these supports. Before gluing anything, I cut the middle part from one of the pieces, the one that was going to go in the middle. Then, using a Dremel tool, I removed some of the material from the other 2 pieces. This was going to give me a hollow inside section that I could fill with heavy metal nuts. I glued 2 of the pieces together and carved out a bit more of the material, enough to tightly fit 15 of these metal nuts. And then I could glue the last piece on top. Next, it was time for everyone's favorite part, sanding. I sanded all sides and all corners for a nice smooth finish. It turned out great. It was a nice solid block of wood that was definitely going to get the job done. If you're wondering how much weight it gained, here are just 3 plywood pieces on the scale. They weigh about 100 grams more or less. The block that has the metal nuts inside it weighs more than twice as much, over 200 grams. I dropped it on my foot once and it wasn't a pleasant experience. Anyway, at this point I could have just applied a layer of varnish and called it a day, but I wanted to try painting the wood instead. So I got myself some of this stuff, which is supposed to be one of the blackest paints you can buy. And yes, it was pretty black indeed. Just 1 coat was enough. I finished it off with a few coats of varnish, which I sanded gently and polished for a smoother finish. And that's it. I hope that you found this neat little trick useful. I hope that one day you'll get to apply it in your woodworking project when you need to make it heavier without having any metal parts exposed. Don't forget to check out my other projects and subscribe to my channel to never miss a video.